Now we're about to install the inside towards the middle of the door, the driver's side rear tire carrier. You're going to need a 1/4 inch, a pretty long 1/4 inch drill bit. You're going to need a 3/4 inch drill bit. You're going to need a step bit that goes at least to 1 1/8. I'd go a little bit over 1 1/8 because on this one it reads out, and basically 1 1/8 is 2 notches in about right here, and so we're going to go that far with this hole. So you're going to want, you know, the inside hole on the driver's side. This is the driver's side once again, and it is the driver's side door in the rear. We're doing the right side, opposite of the hinges, and you know the installation is the same on the other one, it's just opposite. But this is a 3/4 inch. We're going to use that 3/4 inch drill bit after we do a punch hole and a 1/4 inch drill bit center it, and then we're going to do a 3/4 inch drill bit on this side, and we're going to go to 1 1/8 on this side. Right here we're going to go to 1 1/8 on this step bit. So you're going to need a 1/4 inch long, pretty long 1/4 inch drill bit to go all the way through the door to give you center. You're going to need a center punch. You're going to need a 3/4 inch drill bit and a step bit. And now we're going to the right side. On the right side, this is a tire carrier that we're actually doing, but it's the same installation for a tire carrier, the ladder tire carrier, the box and tire ladder carrier, and the jerry can and the generator. All the different things will have, the base mount will be the same installation, whether it's the hinges on the left or the door on the right. Now this is a driver's side that we are doing. We also basically the same thing for the passenger side, just opposite direction. If you could figure that out. If you can't figure that out, you might not need to be installing this, might need to get a professional. But this is the right side. So what we do is, this is the tire carrier that we're doing. Those are the hinge side, which you should have already done by now. And this, I guess you could do it in different order, but it's better to do that side so you can make sure this side lines up. This is the sideway view of the tire carrier, and on the right side of the driver door you're going to be installing that. Now what you're going to get is a plate that looks like this, and it's going to have a little divot, that little snug place to put in the hole. And so you're going to get a template piece of paper that will allow you to put a piece of paper, and it'll be a guide. It'll be a guide that goes right here, and it'll show you where center will be, where you want to punch that hole. So you start out and you get your center on the template, and what you're going to do is you're going to use a hole punch. Now you're going to center hole punch that to mark your center of that hole. Then you're going to take a long 1/4 inch drill bit. This is a 1/4 inch. Let's look at this. You're going to take a long 1/4 inch drill bit like this, and you're going to follow that center punch and go all the way in. You want to try to give it level with the door, and you're going to put a center hole 1/4 inch long drill bit to start your hole, so you can start your center off of a punch. So you punch the center, and then you drill a hole, a 1/4 inch hole to get through there. Then you take a 3/4 inch drill bit, which is the size of this hole right here. That's a 3/4 inch hole right there. You'll take a 3/4 inch hole and drill this hole out. So you'll take a 3/4 inch drill bit to drill this hole out. Now you could go all the way through to that side. You don't have to. What you're going to do is you're going to get one of these. It's a step bit. This is a 1 1/2 inch step bit, a little bit larger than we need. This hole is 1 1/8, so it's about 2 notches down. You're going to step bit hole drill that one down, and it has like 2 notches left, I think, on this. So down to that right there, you'll see that there'll be 2 notches left, but 1 1/8 is where you want to go depending on your bit. Right there on the side it says you're going to go figure out where 1 1/8. That's what size of hole you need there, and you're going to step bit that down to 1 1/8. Take your time, be very slow. You might want someone to hold the door, or you could shut the door, but you don't want this door moving. So, you know, I would suggest you probably have someone hold this door so you can see all the way through. You could shut the door and cut this 3/4 inch on this side. Then you would have to open the door and step bit this, but you're relying, see how that moves? If you're drilling this side, you'd have to hold it with one hand and drill with the other. I guess you could do it, you know, the skilled mechanic could do it, but to be safe so there's no movement, you want somebody to hold the door possibly. I guess you could close the door as well and drill from the inside while the door is closed to get yourself a sturdy thing. I guess if you want to do it by yourself, that seems like the best way to do it. Now, we'll go to, once you drill your holes, now you see that you got these holes here. You might want to take a round or a round file and get all these burrs off this and rough it up a little bit. I mean, you know, get all the cuts, and it's pretty sharp. You want to grind that down, and then you might want to take some touch-up paint, which we included. I think we're going to include it in there, where you're going to have a little bottle of touch-up paint, and you want to get paint on the inside of these things just so they don't rust later. To prevent rust, you're going to want to put some primer in there or do something to prevent any rust. Then what you're going to do is, between this and that, you're going to get a little rubber piece that's going to go right here in between there to keep from your door doing this, what we did here without it. This is our burner, so we're testing a lot of things, but as you can see, it kind of scratches it up, and later if you want to take it off, we'll have a plug for this and everything if you needed to. But you're going to fit that in. Obviously that 3/4 inch goes in that hole just right nice, and that plate is where you're going to be installing it, putting that plate on, and we'll go to the next step. All right, now we're going to mount this mounting bracket. Now the tire carrier will go on to this, and you can mount other things to this, ladders and other things, but I'm going to open the door up here, and he's going to hold it on the outside. Now, I'm on the inside. I'm going to have these two plates. I'm also going to take the nuts. I'm going to put the nut on the inside. He's going to be on the outside with the washer and the nylocks. He's going to put those on. Right here, he's going to hold it up, and I'm going to stick this stuff through. So you're going to end up eventually taking off this back panel, which will go through, and what you'll be doing is you'll take a screwdriver and you turn these sideways with little plastic clips to take this panel off. We'll do another segment to show you how to do that. Now, you're going to have this U-shaped bracket that goes on top. We got a square-shaped bracket which goes on bottom. This U-shaped bracket, it's going to go flat side to the left, your left, my left, what I'm doing. It's going to go towards the door. The round side is going to go towards the sprinter. We're going to stick the nuts into it and shove it through the two holes while he holds the holes for exposure for me to get my little thing in his holes over there, and put them over in and shove it. There we go. Now, he's going to put a washer on. He's going to snug down just by hand the top nylock nut just to hold it in place, and I'm going to hold this so it doesn't turn a little bit. Just gets it down a little bit to be snug. Then I'm going to take this bottom plate and I'm going to do the same thing. Now on the bottom, the holes are going to go there. You can see they're on the left and on the right. Your holes are going to be towards the sprinter, to the right, and the side without the holes is on your left here. You can see here. It probably won't go any other way, but I'm going to stick 2 bolts in this bracket. I'm going to stick it through the holes. He's holding up the holes and lining them up. And I'm going to hold them in there like this, and he's going to snug down the washer and then the nylock nut. Like this. Then because the hinge is right here, we have 180 hinges. If you have 270 hinges, which is kind of rare, you'll have to get different hinges. This only works on the 180 hinges. The 270s go all the way out, hit the side of your your fan. I got a socket, these are 9/16 and a wrench. He has the wrench, we got this cool wrench where it actually is like a socket. What? No, it's filming. This is our first video, I guess. So I'm going to take the socket because I can't fit it into the. And we're lucky enough he could actually do a socketry on the outside. Now these are nylocks, and they will. You don't have to torque them or something, but you want them snug, pretty tight. Like so. Anyway, you tighten these down without banging up your sprinter and breaking your headlights. I want an extension so it's not so tight in here. I got a little teeny stubby one right here. I got a stubby one. You probably want a longer one. It's all about length on these things. You want it to be snug, pretty tight. But it's a nylock. That nylon will grab onto it, acts as a lock, washer won't ever fall off. You may, I don't think you need to put Loctite on it, that's why you have a nylock in the first place. But anyway, you snug these down.